What's up, guys? Welcome to Chasing Pelagics. I'm Jeff, and this is your SoCal fishing forecast for Thursday, November 2nd. Quick look at our 10-day weather here. Looks like today's going to be the hottest day here on Thursday, as we have this continuous Santa Ana condition here. And as we fade through the week, we get a little bit of this moisture level coming back in, chance of fog, and all that kind of stuff. So starting to fade back into traditional fall weather here. As we come off the Santa Ana condition. Quick look at our wind chart here. See the slight offshore we still got going here Thursday. That's the Santa Ana condition we're talking about. And then rolling into Friday, things start to turn back to wind from the northwest, but a pretty manageable condition here. Yeah, it's the fall fishing that I like, or at least conditions-wise, where you can see absolutely forever out there on the water, and it makes sight fishing a lot easier. Now, as we come into this weekend, we do get this little weird wind burst here, and I'm not going to read too much into it because if you saw what I just saw, it's for like maybe 8 hours, maybe less, and then it kind of fades out back and forth. So I'm not expecting too much from it at this time, but just be on the lookout because as we get into fall, these wind patterns, they get real dynamic, and they're hard to forecast further out. But overall, right now, we're not seeing anything crazy on the chart. But I want to zoom out here. Tuesday, you can see we got this little storm up here. It's heading more towards like Oregon. And then as we fade into next week, we have this other one here. And it looks like it's going to be Central Cal, SoCal hit. So that might be our first like real winter storm of the year sometime next weekend. We'll see how all this plays out here. But winter is starting up. So our fishing season is coming to a close here. Marine conditions, we'll just look down here at the furthest one offshore, 30 to 60 nautical miles. We talked about Saturday, 10 gusts to 15. Wind waves 2 feet or less, so nothing concerning here. Sunday night, 15 to 20, gusts to 25, wind waves 4 feet. So looks like something might be on the way, but again, this is pretty far out, and things are pretty dynamic, like I said, this time of year. So if you do plan on heading out, make sure you start looking at your marine forecasts and your wind charts and understand what could possibly be happening out there on the water, and get yourself prepared. All right, so as I mentioned last week, this wind is going to start to green up the water a little bit. We haven't had that rain yet, so it hasn't turned a nasty green yet, but do have a little bit chlorophyll coming here along the coast. And after the first rain, I expect this to fill in a lot deeper. So this is the 3-day chlorophyll chart. As we head a little bit offshore, things clean up a little bit, but no one's really heading that far. And the 1 day was pretty much the same, but we're missing a chunk here. So the 1 day actually looks worse. So things are changing here. 3-day chart here. Now this one looks a little broken up. To me, it looks like it's running a little bit hot. There is a 1-day chart. It seems a little bit more blotchy. But yeah. Even the 8-day, I really don't have a lot of faith in, just because it seems like with the Santa Ana winds that we had here, the likely that you're seeing 69, 70 degree water out there, very, very temporary if you do run across in it. So more of into the 1-day chart right now. Seems like the most accurate information, and these little like hot spots and cool wind that came off, this looks like more believable chart, and even these darker spots, I would tend to probably find them less warm actually out there on the water. So we'll see what happens. We've had some smoke out there too, so it doesn't give you a perfectly clear picture, but moving south, you see we got some cooler water along the inside here as well. So just idea of what we're working with. Fishing. Nothing good coming from the Channel Islands. No reports of any pelagics up there. Same with Santa Barbara. Island and San Nick. No reports coming from those areas. Catalina, we got a really good showing of squid here. You'll probably see some squid boats working the backside of Catalina over the next several days and maybe weeks, working as light boats in the evening hours. So good sign. Waiting for those sea bass to start showing up next year, and see how that plays out. San Clemente Island. I don't know if anyone's fished the island lately, and I doubt it's been good because it's been pretty much crap the whole year. And same thing goes for the Coronados. Not a really good sign of any type of fishing down there as well. So there's still a little bit of this scattered offshore stuff here. And I want to remind you that I'll be pointing out areas of where there's been signs of fish. Not all of them have been biting very well. In particular, it hasn't been good at all. But there is still some signs of life out there. And the volume is dramatically lesser than it was, let's say, a month ago. I'd say approximately 25% of the volume that we saw about a month ago is what we're seeing out there on the water. So this stuff is still kind of hanging around between the 289 and the 43. It's kind of moved up and down a little bit, back and forth. The last couple of days, still seeing it around the 289 area and up as high as the mackerel bank, but really kind of focused just in this area. There has been a little bit of fish poking around up here for the 14-mile bank, 267, 279. If you saw my Instagram video yesterday, 60x binoculars. I mean, I was looking all the way to San Clemente Island. Obviously, can't see breezers that far, but I'd say between 5 miles offshore and probably about 20. Lots of dolphins around. Lots of good bird piles, so probably some tuna popping up in there and that bait too. Unfortunately, you can't always see the tuna from that far away, but definitely good signs of life still out there. And that was on the evening hours. I believe it was a high tide as well. So that's usually when that stuff really shows itself well. But good sense of life. So if you want to poke around and kind of look at this stuff, it's going to be really hard to stay on top of. If anybody that gave you numbers, I don't trust it. You just have to drive around and look. But either early morning hours or those late afternoons when you get that nice glass off on the slack tides is going to be your best bet here if you're going to try and poke around at this stuff. There's been a good little showing of that yellowtail over here off La Jolla. Some guys are getting a couple to bite. Again, not lights out fishing. Sometimes this stuff pokes up during wintertime too. It's kind of always around. But it seems like it's that home guard style fishing. So we'll see what happens with that. But if you want to stay close to home, poke around, maybe take the kids out and just get them out in the water would be a good choice close to home. I read a report about a marlin hooked on the 9 Mile bank, but they weren't marlin fishing. It was on some squid gear. I don't know. Whatever. Cool. Seems like a little something left, but further down south, really, you got to stay west of the 371 here, and it looks like the stuff is lined up on this little current break coming from San Salvador and Old down to the 390. I don't know of anyone that's really exploring past that. Again, all this stuff is just kind of scattered fish, not a ton of volume, so don't expect a big flotilla of boats and be hanging out for a 5 mile block. It's going to be a school here, a school there. It may even be just a sonar school. A couple boats did venture out to Tanner and Cortez. There was some smaller schoolie bluefin around. I believe not a whole lot caught. Not really worth chasing. Again, it seems like this stuff kind of left first week in October and hasn't really showed up back here. Best sign of big bluefin, NorCal. Guys, those big bluefin are still biting pretty good up there. Half Moon Bay, Bowie, North. Guys coming out of Bodega Bay too. So good signs of fish up there still. Maybe contact one of those 4-pack boats. There's quite a few that run up in the area, but they're still seeing good signs of the big size fish. They haven't really seen any of the small ones. And all their bites are coming on Mad Max, which we didn't really have too much of that down here this year. We had some. but not a ton like we did last year. So that's it for this week, guys. Yeah, we'll see how this week plays out. But be safe out there. Have a nice weekend, and cheers. Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out our website and online store at chasingprojects.com. And make sure you share the stoke.